The topic for today is ghee. Ghee is actually clarified butter. It's butter when the milk solids have been removed, and it's 100% fat. This is typically made from cow's milk and sometimes buffalo milk. It is consumed in parts of Asia and Africa. Now, according to USDA Food Product Database, 100 grams of ghee, there is 100 grams of fat. In 1 tablespoon of ghee, which is 15 grams of ghee, there are 130 calories. There is no carbohydrate and there is no protein. And 60% of this fat is actually saturated fat. Fat can be part of a healthy diet. Fat plays many important roles in our body. For instance, it is responsible for the transport of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. It is recommended that most fat should come from good fat sources: fish, nuts, oils from plants, and avocados. The amount of fat that a person can consume, it's usually about 20 to 35% of their total calorie intake. A recommendation from dietitians and from the dietary guidelines for Americans that we should always limit our saturated and trans fats. If you consume too much saturated fat, it increases your LDLs. Let's take an example of a person who's on a 2,000 calorie diet. Their daily allowance of saturated fat would be about 200 calories. Now, to put it into perspective in terms of ghee, in 1 tablespoon of ghee, there are 130 calories. So this person on a 2,000 calorie diet can actually consume about 1 tablespoon or 3 teaspoons of ghee, only if they are not consuming saturated fat from any other sources. Now, if you are a vegetarian person and your only source of saturated fat is ghee, you probably can consume about 2 teaspoons of ghee. But if you consume animal fats from other sources, from meat and eggs, then you will need to limit on your ghee consumptions. My recommendation is that do not remove ghee from your diet, but watch the amount of ghee that you're consuming every day, especially if you're a person living with heart disease or diabetes.